106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Let's get this show on the road.
Before you say anything, prepare to shut the fuck up.
Screw me. I ripped ass at the ATM.
McLovin! Nice!
Sit back, relax, and enjoy Irrelevant Platitudes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to episode number 61 of Irrelevant Platitudes. We're your hosts, Peter Benici and...
Lil Dazil, bringing you all things relevant commentary on pop culture, dating, and relationships.
Did you like the new intro? I changed it.
I heard it because you were just like looking at me. I'm like, why? And then when I heard it, I'm like, hey, you did it.
And I guess before, so we've got everyone that's watching and listening. There's two extra ladies on the couch.
Two beautiful
With
ladies.
the lovely Amy and Sash. So we'll be interviewing Sash today. Hey,
And
Sash,
Amy
how are you, dude?
I'm good.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
That's all right.
to have you.
I'll launch into your intro shortly, but yeah. So I fucked with the intro because I figured everyone complains every week about people not being in it.
Yeah.
So
everyone
week
being
it's
just
gone.
James.
yeah, because
Just a
it's
subtle
every week we make the
commentary.
same shit joke,
Like,
and I'm
so
like, it's
sorry.
not funny.
It stopped being
You
funny
can't do it
about
anymore.
17 episodes ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it happens every single
But
week.
it does.
Anyway,
Alas, here we are.
so I've got my nice little cute intro prepared.
Woohoo!
You ready for it? Get ready to be blown away by the unstoppable force and determination. Oh, I fucked it
You're doing
already.
it. No, keep
Can I
going.
hide?
By the unstoppable force of determination and talent that is Sash. This powerhouse of a person has overcome adversity and achieved greatness at every turn, proving time and time again that anything is possible with hard work and dedication.
Aw.
Growing up in a housing commission without a father figure, Sash learned early on, this is very long,
Keep going.
the value of
great.
hard work and
Doing
determination.
great, sweetie.
The drive and tenacity propelled Sash to international success as a dancer, setting records overseas and even qualifying for the World Championships at the young age of 15. But Sash didn't stop there. At 22, Sash put themselves through law school and embarked on a career as a resources lawyer, working with some of the biggest names in the mining industry, oil, gas, and that was just the beginning.
Those are some big names.
This
Oil
is
and
the
gas.
biggest intro ever.
You are fucking killing it though. Keep going.
In 2013, Sash accomplished the seemingly impossible, qualifying for the World Championships in the IFBB bodybuilding in WA.
Fuck yeah.
Is that where she met you?
Yeah.
Yeah? It's very cute.
Then Amy took it out. It's like world champion.
But Sash's ambitions didn't stop there. They started their own company and began formulating products in their mum's kitchen. Fast forward to 2021, and Sash's business is now valued at over blank dollars, quite a lot, we'll say, with their products acclaimed throughout Australia and winning prestigious supplement awards. This last bit takes a turn.
Come on.
Unfortunately, in 2022, things took a turn for the worse. But Sash's track record of overcoming obstacles and achieving greatness, there's no doubt that they will come back stronger than ever.
Fuck, I don't
Sash
think
is
this will
truly a force to be reckoned with, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for this remarkable individual.
Thank you. Great.
Dude,
I
that was
should have
fucking
shortened
ace.
that.
No, but that was ace.
that was
I don't think
great.
we've had an intro like that for fucking
I was
anybody.
impressed by myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
You're like, wow, it's like, who is this person? They sound pretty
I'm like,
remote.
hello.
But,
Resume tick.
so that's it. They don't need to listen to the podcast now. We've covered everything in there.
Yeah, we don't even need to have a
Yeah.
question.
Fuck
We know
off,
what
Sash.
we're
All
doing.
right, thanks, bye.
Just had a lifetime line right there.
Yeah, but I guess so. That's how we met each other, through Amy.
Yes.
And then I met you only the other day because I missed you at Nucci's party.
You did. You were like
Yes.
passing ships in the evening. You
True.
left and you got there.
Yes, true.
It's actually because we can't be in the same room together for long before a glitch happens.
You're like Batman.
Right, yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Batman and Bruce Wayne. We haven't even done drink of the week yet. Let's do that too, shall we?
Drink of the week.
Okay. I didn't actually make these, so what did you put
I
in
did.
this?
These are great.
Vodka
Yes.
and lime soda.
Ah, beautiful.
That's it.
And your one is pink.
Lemonade.
Pink lemonade.
What's mine?
Pink lemonade and vodka.
I call it a music festival special.
The pinnacle of
Your
health.
one.
Pinnacle of health.
Does it have
Yeah.
It could be healthy, it could be K. You don't know.
Is it-
Early death, that's fine.
Deviated.
If anyone can't hear Amy, she's in the middle. She's unmiked, but She's here for moral support.
She is. She's
I
doing
just
so
look like
good.
this the Guardian.
You are the guardian, little
You're like my
protector.
strong person.
Maybe
Thank you
lean
so
into
much.
Lil's mic when you speak, just so we get a bit of.
Should we? Do you want me to put mine over as well?
No.
I project loud enough for
Yeah,
my
yeah,
voice
yeah.
to carry.
Oh, okay.
That's
right.
why. I trust you. Since the first week, you've been able to speak on a microphone properly.
I
It's
know.
quite astounding.
I'm very good at
I'm
it.
very proud of you.
Thank you.
But yeah, so obviously we've got you on
Thank
because
you.
I've known you for forever and a day now. It's since we started dating, so 4 years.
Yeah. Has it been that
It's
long?
not been 4 years.
I was there on day one.
This is the fourth year. 4 years.
I did meet you in 2020.
So I just
just coming
probably
to the
started
1
seeing
year.
Amy, maybe.
Yeah, but it's 2023. 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We ticked over 3, so this would be the 4th year.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm understanding now. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Yes,
Cute.
Very
You guys
cute.
complete me.
that's right. It's the feeling's mutual, friend. But obviously, since I've known you, I feel like you've been through the ringer dating wise. So I was like,
Oh,
time
gosh.
to get this bitch on the podcast and get the dirt.
You know what's really funny? I told my sister tonight, I'm like, I'm going on this podcast. She's like, what for? And I'm like, dating? She's like, and I'm like, what does that face mean? And she's like, it means, are you going to be telling people what not to do? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Savage.
if I didn't have so much Botox, I would frown at you. But I'm
But that's what I think people learn a lot from, because you've had varied, obviously, dating experiences, so you have good and bad. But
Lessons learned are the best way to go forward, though.
and if
right?
people just have,
100%, right?
it's not uninteresting, but if it's a fairly standard dating life,
we don't want you
there's
on the
nothing to learn from that.
pod.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just like,
No,
oh,
fuck boring.
I've met nice people and had nice
you
interactions.
need the
and-
diabolical experiences and the
You do.
diabolical people.
Yeah.
You got to have the rainy days to
Chaos. I
appreciate
need
the sunny
chaos.
ones.
Yes.
But I guess I'll start with the first one. So it's nice and simple. Do you have any of like an unforgettable pickup line? So something someone's dropped on you one time that kind of stuck out.
Do you know what? I was just saying to the girls earlier that people don't really use them on me. I'm not too sure. Maybe I feel a little bit left out.
Because
but
you look scary. I'm just
Do
gonna say.
I?
It's the intimidation
Ooh, I like
nation
it.
vibe.
Approachable.
really,
Yeah, I was gonna
maybe
say,
it's
do you
resting
get-
bitch
Hey.
face?
You'd be terrifying.
Really?
Yeah, very
Terrifying.
intimidating. Yeah,
Totally.
for sure.
Because if
think I
people
look
don't actually get to
friendly.
know you,
You are. You are.
You're like,
You look like you could body snatch someone with your eyeballs. Like,
true.
In a good way.
It's-
That's attractive.
it's really
Nucci's actually
bad.
said this before. It's people with like the whole resting bitch face, or people that are like more stoic in that way, that intrigue, that create mystery that people want to pursue,
Yeah.
but it can be intimidating as well. It's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Right. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good to know. Thank you.
yeah, sorry.
So a line somebody said to me once, did it fall when you fell from heaven? And I kind of
Oh
just,
God, did you
I
get
didn't
that
get
one?
it. Like
Yeah,
though,
really?
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting it. It caught me off guard, and I was
What?
probably drunk. I think I was about 18,
Yeah.
a long time ago. And I just looked at the guy and I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
that was
It's
was
like, what?
a good effort to him though. Like
He gave it an attempt.
yeah, but
Whether it
didn't,
actually landed,
didn't land.
like you,
No,
on
no, it
heaven,
didn't.
on earth, you know?
Was he drunk at the time?
I think we were both heavily smashed.
Okay.
You can give them
Yeah,
props
yeah,
if they fuck up on the line. I love. There's nothing better than a pickup line that goes awry. I've actually not experienced it, but it's very funny in theory to think.
You know what? I would high five the guy because I'm like, takes balls. Usually
how good
guys
is
just
it?
sit by the corner and they're like,
Yeah.
Seedy as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stare and stare and stare and stare.
Or they get
yeah.
their mates to do it and you look around and it's like 5 guys. And I'm like, this is
Yeah,
creepy.
that's the
Fuck
worst.
off.
That's so does that happen to a lot of you guys where you'll have the friend come up and
Yeah.
talk to you?
Yeah. It's never them. It's never them.
Has that ever worked?
Not on me.
No.
With my
Yeah.
friends, yeah.
Really?
For sure. When
Yeah.
like footy players like send.
But like,
Going
I
to that
just
much.
feel like
Miss
I
my
just
phone.
feel like the person that I want to be with, they need to have the balls to approach me.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like just in general it's good. Like it doesn't need
if
to
you
be
don't have
specific to.
guts and I have to
Yeah.
outgut you, like nah. Mm-mm.
Yeah. That's
That's valid.
No,
Outgut.
doesn't work.
okay, so look, we covered that. So not only did you or do you have your own supplement line, you're a lawyer,
Yes.
pilot.
Well,
I didn't even
student
realise-
Pilot. Student
Yeah.
pilot.
If we need someone to fly a plane, I'm not going to fucking try it. If you're in the room.
I would
I'd
not
be like,
trust
"Here you go,
you.
Hopefully
man.
you won't die. But
You
like,
will be the pilot, so we can escape this apocalypse.
Yeah.
That's how I look at everything. If we need you in an apocalypse, you can do it. It's fine.
Thank
But yeah. So what have I missed? Pilot,
Dancer.
lawyer, dancer,
Bodybuilder.
And so the semi-pro dancing thing I didn't know about.
Yeah,
Tell me
not
about
many
that.
people do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like, when people are like, oh, I'm a professional dancer, they're like, ooh, what sort of dancing? And I'm like, Irish. And they're like,
That's awesome.
But
It is a bit like that, actually.
right? And you're like, is that like that fucking weird tap shit? And you're like,
It's not even tap. It's
And
the
it's
one
like-
that doesn't
but
tap.
it's kind of like, like a Greek calling a Masso a Greek and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Like when somebody calls an Irish dancer a tap dancer and vice versa, they just look at each other with like utter
Disdain.
contempt. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, ignorant fuck. Like, so,
You
like,
uncultured pig.
so I just don't really go there. But I'm just like, well, the principles are completely different culture,
Completely
different
different
countries.
style.
But I just don't want to go there. Like, so, but yeah, look, it's a kind of a nerdy thing. So I tend not to go there. And it was so many, like millenniums ago. So yeah.
And you said your auntie was your teacher.
Yeah, yeah, that was an experience. She's great. She's got so many world champions. I don't even know how many, to be honest. I can't count on like two hands,
Wow.
probably.
Really?
So she trains them hard, I'm assuming,
She's
as
like,
well.
She's like the Mike O'Mara of
She's
Irish
she's like the Hitler of Irish dance. Yeah, like I would be like,
wow.
yeah, I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified.
Imagine if you did lose that world championship. That would have been awkward.
Did you ever watch that cheerleading series on Netflix?
No.
Oh.
You should watch
You've
it and
gotta
see if
see
it
it.
triggers any
Really? Yeah.
memories
Which one
for
is
you.
it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's just
Cheer.
called Cheer.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of the dudes actually got pinged for soliciting young boys. One of the
That
gay guys.
is really
Wow.
horrible to hear.
It was like
Wow.
a whole full-on yeah.
Sad.
But it's interesting because they actually write it into the series.
Good. It's important
Yeah,
to be
right.
including.
And I think for them,
Legitimate
they're like,
things.
this is going to be massive for ratings. It's fucked.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, do you want to take question number 2?
Yeah. So, in terms of your dating life, because you've been in such, I guess, varied fields of work, what kind of things have you found with partners? That do people find it intimidating, or do you find that it makes you more appealing or attractive to people? Like, what have you kind of experienced in that field when you are
Yeah.
telling people about the things that you've done?
Like I get a mixed, I kind of get a mixed reaction, if I'm honest. When I was starting out in my legal profession and I was cutting my teeth in house for a mining company, I was trying to date
Cutting
somebody.
your teeth in house, so can you just make sense of that? 'Cause
Oh yeah,
I'm
sorry.
Woody. I'm like, what the fuck does
She
that
had a
mean?
file for her
Cutting your
teeth
teeth.
inside
Yeah,
the
so
mine.
like-
Well, that's what
So,
I
like,
was
bloodsuckers,
envisioning,
right?
but I'm like, I know that's not what you're trying to say.
So
Cutting
cutting
your
your
teeth's
teeth is kind of like just
Okay.
learning the ropes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Right.
seeing out your junior years as a
Early
brand new lawyer.
Yeah.
Most people go to firms
Mhm.
and they're there for like 6 to 8 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like completely like RAPED. Like they are just worked to the bone.
Yep.
I was fortunate enough and I went straight in-house, which is, a huge privilege in my field. And I was, trying to date this Italian guy. He was a beautiful guy. And he was just like, I was working on a couple of, big deals like mergers and acquisitions and things like
Yeah.
that. And I would go home. Luckily, I lived across the road in East Perth, right? And so I worked in East Perth and I lived across the road and I used to just leave work, go to the gym, come back,
Oh, how
grab my
easy.
dinner and come back in my pajamas. And
Yeah.
I'd be working through to like 3 a.m.
Fucking hell.
And that
Okay.
was like, it wasn't all the time, but it was quite often. And so like I was told like invariably more often than not, I was like told that I was just like some selfish person that you can't actually have a relationship with.
That's horrendous, but that's because you were prioritizing your work life, which is actually making more sense than anything because you were just starting out in a field and in a very special space that not many other
Correct.
people
Like,
had
I
access
completely
to.
understand. I actually forgot his name, which is really bad
Oh, mate.
form. It's so long ago though. So, but really nice dude. But yeah, I mean, so that's generally when I was starting out. That is kind of the reaction that I would get. Like, you
Yeah.
spend so much time on work. What about me?
Yeah.
And I got that up until kind of like my mid-30s, and then
Yeah.
I kind of stepped away from law and I was just focusing on my business solely.
Mm,
And my business partner was also my life partner at the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any complaints because so long as I performed at work, he didn't really care.
yeah.
He kind of saw
You
me
were
as a
together,
cash
he
cow.
knows what you were doing.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
I was more like a cash cow, right? Like the ideas person. So, and it sounds horrible to say out loud, but it's kind of true. So
Mm.
I didn't really have any issues then, but
So it's worked for you in both ways. You've had dudes that, because that honestly it's an intimidation thing. Because if someone's like, obviously being with Amy and stuff, like her business takes up a heap of her time, but it's okay because it makes her happy, and then we just kind of work around it.
yeah.
But I think if you're shitty about it, it's
just
kind
gonna
of an
breed
okay
resentment.
reason to bitch. Do you know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
you just don't spend enough time. It's like, dude, if they're doing their thing and then like
Yeah, but
it's just
also
a time thing and they're not avoiding you,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
fine.
And
Like,
wouldn't you also
Yeah.
come into a relationship knowing that as well? Like when you're seeing someone, oh, what do
not
you do for
new.
yourself? Like
Yeah.
it's not like it's new information. I think people come in with these expectations like,
It'll
oh, because we're in a
change.
relationship, now
Yeah.
that means we're going to spend all of our time. It's like,
Yeah.
that's actually not how it works. It now means I need to distribute less of my work time to focus on an additional person inserted into
Yeah.
my life.
100%. Yeah. And, like being a junior solicitor and working in such a great role, and having to prove yourself every day because, like, there are, if you were to drop dead, there would be 1 million people.
Yeah,
lined
it's a
up for that
replaceable job. Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
so, like, you need to, factor into that and just be like, I used to try and be as honest as possible and be like, look, I'm just starting out. I put my career first. I've worked so hard for this. I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And so you're going to come last.
I love that. No, but that's the transparent and the
honest,
genuine
honest.
response because then people can
Yeah.
choose whether they opt in or out. That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, exactly. And people would be like,
Honest.
yeah, no, I can handle that. That's really good. It's really admirable. And then
They like
like
it in
2
theory
weeks,
though.
8 minutes.
2 weeks in, you're
Yeah.
selfish.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I am.
It's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
it's like once the reality sets in, I think they kind of struggle with the concept
hard
that
work.
and a lot of people just require really basic relationships, especially guys. I think a lot of guys need to feel like they're kind of their partner's everything. And if you don't
Yeah.
get that, it's
Yeah.
almost like you're jealous of the other stuff.
Right.
And I have just never, I think it was problems for me in the past where partners were like, you're not jealous at all, ever.
Yeah.
I think it's very natural though to feel if you're in a relationship and stuff and attention's
You
a
still won't
common
be.
thing for you. And you're not wired that way. I think that's probably why you find so many dudes you're like, this is fucking stupid.
It was also a little bit difficult. Well, it was a little bit tricky. Like, I actually dated somebody in law and he was a little bit insecure. And so,
Yeah.
Although he was down the road in like a major law firm and he was killing it, like he
Yeah.
would still stalk me on his lunch breaks to make sure I wasn't, having lunch with anybody from my work.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
And like,
Yeah.
working as a commercial lawyer in-house in like a large, oil and gas or mining
Yeah.
company, you got to have some lunchtime meetings.
and you
Yeah.
got to build rapport. You're trying to establish
100%.
relationships with high
and
tech.
like,
Yeah.
and it's a male-dominated industry. So you're if
Surrounded by dudes.
How
you're
dare you have lunch
surrounded
with a
by
man?
dudes.
That is not
Exactly.
me. Oh my.
Yeah.
yeah, and so like I would come home sometimes at night, like in a particular relationship, and it would be like, I saw you at lunch with so and so, and that's going to stop from now on.
Jesus.
And I'm like,
I think I
that was a
remember
negotiation.
this.
I told you
remember
about it.
this.
Yeah, that was like 2013. Yeah,
I hope he's broke.
I think it's actually killing it. Good on him.
Yeah, well,
Good on him.
not emotionally, he won't.
But that does lead us perfectly into our next question.
Go.
Have you ever had to juggle a romantic encounter with an important business meeting on
Yeah.
the same day?
Nice.
Well, yes. It was in the form of stalking across the road, and I pretended I didn't see him because I had like glasses on. But it was a business meeting. It was actually second stage negotiations, which we were trying to do over beers, so I
Yeah.
could, get a more favorable outcome, which I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
But to the dude across the road, that was not fucking cool because I was stuttering by the end of it. I was so scared. I'm like, when I go home, I'm gonna eat shit.
Do
That's
tell.
fucking
So what
intimidating.
more specifics? What happened?
He just sat there looking in his car
Jesus.
So this was your partner.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just kind of stalked you. At the
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell! But has it ever happened in like a fun way where you've had like
in a fun way.
not,
Can you
not
get
maybe
that
not
in
in
a fun
law,
way?
In a business
maybe not.
meeting?
Oh, but I guess when you were doing the other business, you were with the guy, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't have had any like kind of client flings or anything like that. Then
No, like
No.
I try and keep my personal life completely segregated from my
you're like me.
work.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's just
I'm
it's
the
kind of
same.
like, otherwise if they cross over too much, it's like incestuous, and it's like
Yeah.
you may as well date your employee, which is never going to happen.
Yes.
And
You know,
also,
Ironically enough, a big play for most guys.
I
Guy,
know.
it's usually a real tell if a guy's really bad with women if exclusively he dates within his company and usually in like not ranks but like
Subordinate
lower.
roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
My ex's sister dated her boss.
oh
It
no.
ended so well. It was the best.
No deal.
He was a
Definitely
douchebag.
not. No,
I think
thank
that's
you.
called shitting
Um,
when you eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. And no, you always want to be taken seriously, and you don't want to be seen as that one.
God, no.
Okay, you're up on this one, my friend.
all right. Do you have like a story, whether it's embarrassing or funny, or one that you just want to share that you can think about where you utilized your bodybuilding skills in like either a romantic or like a datey or even maybe a sexy time?
Did you
kind of
literally flex on
situation?
people
Yeah.
when you were
That's a
lip-syncing?
nice word pun. I like that.
Like, Probably there may have been one time where I utilised my dancing skills and I like dirty dance stuff on this.
And then
dude.
did you Irish dance?
No,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say.
I'm just like, what kind of dance? I mean, these
but I
dance
used
skills.
my flexibility and I was
Ew,
just like
yeah.
completely dirty on him and it was great. I mean, I don't think I've done it since, but yeah, that
I feel
was a
like
bit-
now's the time.
Yeah, I was
Not
gonna say.
now, but like now being the age that we're at. Sorry, that sounded like
definitely.
very.
From here on out, that's just what I'm going to do.
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
flat out.
I had not because I think we haven't been out, have we, as a group?
Not out.
No, nowhere I could.
No,
yeah,
no.
I never had you pegged as a dancer in general.
I don't look like
Like-
one anymore. That's
No,
probably why.
no,
But you
but
also
it's
don't
more
talk
to do
about
with like
dances,
your
like-
stoicism.
Oh,
I think.
right.
Like, yeah, because all the dances I know are usually very like kind
Expressive.
of like bouncy and like sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we
I think that's why we get along
I
so
was
well
going to say
because
that's
you're
a
very
different
dry
type of
and you're
dancer
very
that they
funny,
had to put on the persona.
and it's like,
Thank you.
yeah. Well, I guess I can dance. So that's ironically enough.
Can you?
Amy, can I dance?
Yeah.
I've
Eat
not.
it,
I've
dick.
only. No,
Are we
no, no.
talking
That
about,
was
like,
that wasn't me being
something
sarcastic. I was a genuine
Sounded
question.
so
Oh,
sarcastic.
sorry. No, I meant it genuinely.
you?
'cause I mean, we've only gone out like once
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I've seen you dance, and to be honest, I was drunk and I closed my eyes when I danced. So I don't, because I'm really clumsy otherwise.
Yeah, it was at my Aeon, and that was me not
No,
seriously
no, no,
dancing.
not my Aeon.
No, when
The
we-
Enchanted Storyville.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
right.
I always close my eyes when I dance because I will fall over otherwise, and I
Yeah.
can get into flow when my eyes are closed, and so I don't see people dancing. So I've not
I also
ever
take
seen
the
you
piss
dance.
when it's R&B music also.
I love R&B music. We need
You
more clubs
twerk,
like
don't
that.
you?
in
Yeah,
fucking-
great.
I try
can
to.
see
I
you
try
doing
to,
it.
yeah.
We should do that again. Can we do that soon? Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so saying that though, so
Gang,
what do you think is the sexiest dance move or routine that you've done? So you grinded the dude's butt, right? Oh, sorry. His
You
dick with your
grinded
butt.
it, dude's
What?
butt.
Um,
All
I
right.
reckon it should be a Lego room or something like
I
really
don't-
flexible.
Do I have to go into this? Is one of these?
You don't have to.
You can veto
but it
on
would be very
questions.
interesting if you did.
Yeah.
No, I feel like this is like probably like
No.
She Irish danced on a man's penis.
Yeah.
Just give it a good
And
stop.
that's
Next
we'll leave it
question.
at that.
it was
Next
it was a good
question.
experience.
Oh, this is
Probably
actually a
should have
really good
filmed it,
question.
like,
Do Irish guys froth it?
I've never. Oh,
Yeah,
you know what?
are
I
Irish
don't-
guys your
You gotta
jam?
fuck some Irish.
No.
Do they see you doing their native dance and they're like, damn.
Do you know what? native
No,
dance.
they don't. But like, I didn't really find the Irish dudes that hot, except for one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I spent some time over there, like maybe I don't know, a year all up. No, there was.
You
just
don't
one
have
guy.
very Irish features.
I dye my hair kind of black.
Yeah.
So I've got a mix. I'm like a mixed breed. So my mum is mostly Greek, a little bit of Italian, a bit of
Okay.
Russian. Dad
Yeah.
is Irish.
I
Spanish.
was gonna say you can see the wog in you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
You're
definitely look like a
Spanish.
wog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nucci.
It's you. I did the dancing.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no.
Number 6.
Okay. So, upbringing in housing commission. Has it shaped your approach to love or your idea about relationships? And obviously the exposure to different types of families and dynamics, obviously in housing commission is quite different to upper
Yeah.
middle class and stuff like that.
Look,
so.
unfortunately, and I don't like to, I don't like the sort of sympathy vote or anything like that. But
We're gonna give you
unfortunately, my upbringing in housing commission was not great. I come from quite an abusive household.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Just through my dad. So bad experiences, I've seen nothing but broken relationships. And so it 100% influenced my relationships into my adulthood and how I see men in general.
Yeah.
It's made things really difficult and I've really had to turn in on myself and learn my own value and my worth because the things that I was shown as a little one and into early adulthood was probably something I never want to
Be exposed to.
Yeah.
or
That way.
my child to be exposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you for sharing that. And I
Yeah.
think that, coming from that experience, either it can kind of make or break people in the way that they perceive relationships. And obviously those hardships have created this, I guess, mentality of what you don't want for your future. And it's great that you've kind of turned it into a self-empowering space where,
100%.
you know, what you don't want and what you deserve is way better. So it's really great that you were able to kind of transform that experience.
But I do
into
see that
something like
resilience in you though from that.
Oh yeah, you're
So
fucking
that is-
tough
It's
bitch.
actually, it's
Yeah.
actually
Shaped you.
thank you. I appreciate that. So
Yeah.
it actually 100% did work in that way. It made me stronger. And I am probably the strongest person that I know.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what a
For
nice
sure.
and empowering
Yeah,
thing to say.
definitely.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
Hey,
Yeah.
that.
I've
So,
seen
yeah.
it.
I don't rely on men for anything.
Yeah.
And I don't sort of have those traditionalist type views.
Yeah.
And it's great when you fully rely on yourself. Nobody can.
Does it make you a little bit too cautious though when you meet someone for the first time?
Maybe protective.
Too cautious. I'm probably is a result of what's more recently happened as
Yeah.
opposed to what happened in the past.
Okay.
Like, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
growing
yeah.
up. So
Yeah.
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Mm.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, it's honestly it's turning like a shit sandwich into something quite good. Like no, but seriously,
No, yeah,
like
genuinely.
I think having like, everyone experiences trauma, but yours is on the extreme end, and then to still be completely functional, and turning into something quite positive is awesome.
Yeah, dude, did you not hear that bio? That was fucking incredible.
Yeah, that was-
I mean, I'm
That was so
2022
good.
and things took a dip, but like, you know.
But okay, so this one I should have reordered these.
Oh, what a
Some of them
question,
are
though.
a bit
Yeah.
emotionally like out of order after that one. If you could choose a celebrity or fictional
Such a
character
fucking
to
transition.
partner with
Jesus, Nucci.
in a dance competition, who would it be and why?
I don't
So,
know.
do you have a celebrity crush at all?
Thor.
So
Hemsworth.
many chicks say that.
Have you seen him?
Have you seen that size
She
of
used to
that
live
hammer?
near him, I think.
Did
Didn't
you? Why was
In
I not
Sydney?
a stalker?
Which Hemsworth brother is
Yeah.
it? Is it Liam or Chris?
Chris.
The older one.
Scruffy
Yeah, Chris.
little-
Yeah, yeah.
He's voicing Optimus Prime in the new movie that's
I
coming
just
out.
and that voice as
That's a
well.
Transformer
Like,
movie, right?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Masculine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like everything a man should be.
You've actually got to watch the new Thor movie.
Really?
He dances in it a little bit.
Oh,
Like he's
look at
actually quite
that.
funny.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Taking the piss.
Yeah. I think did I watch it with you? Yeah. It was
All
quite
right,
fun.
done. I'll do that.
That was an easy one. Okay, the number 8 is you, my friend Lil.
So, when you qualified for the world champs of the
IFBB.
IFBB bodybuilding, how did that affect your dating life? And were potential partners intrigued or overwhelmed by the physique? Because obviously, I think there's a lot of diet culture shit in there.
Yeah.
Might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is that pretty fucked. So, yeah, curious on that end.
You know, it's funny because people at the gym, like the guys at the gym who I never dated, and like it's just when you go to the gym, I think Amy, you will agree, you never date a gym boy, right? Like you always
Yeah.
keep them as a mate.
Yeah, they all smell.
Yeah.
She ended up living with one, but that's
No,
fine.
I did like it was the worst. And
Oh.
I had to like again and again. And again.
No, never
Yeah.
date the gym dude. It's like
Where
no,
else do I go to meet people?
Cardinal rule.
not the gym dude.
I love
Oh,
that
I
she knew
know
it. She knew it.
But
Sage advice.
That's the hard
So,
one,
like-
5 times.
well, that's the thing. Okay, well, it's good that you know now, though, right?
Well, I don't feel like that's going to be a problem
That's real
anymore.
good.
So, like, well, I mean, I just kept away from the gym dudes because I spent so much time there, and I just didn't really
Yeah.
want to jeopardize
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like, exactly, right? And so, I found that the men at the gym were like, they were really appreciative of all the work that you put in, and they were like, dude, your physique is, great or
That's
banging, and I
awesome.
can appreciate your hard work. The guys, when I was dating them, it was more just like I was an object. I don't feel that they saw me for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
a body that was like, I just had a rig. I
Yeah.
had a pretty face to them.
Trophy.
I was a trophy. If I opened my mouth, they were like, if I had an opinion, they were like,
That sucks because you got good opinions.
like it's
Yeah.
just like,
Smart.
and it's just
Very.
I was just objectified by them, you know.
Yeah.
So
And
I
it puts you in a shit box too, because you think that
Yeah.
like people that are training to get that, and I guess for people listening too, so the IFBB you guys did was it bikini, right? So it's a smaller physique. It's not like the
you don't have to be
jacked
super
kind of
ripped
like
on steroids.
mannish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
about
that
definition?
definitely will put you in a box that a guy's like, nah, she can be dumb as dog shit.
Yeah.
And it's really, I think it happens to guys too, like bigger guys.
Mm.
If they, like my coach Phil, like you would never expect someone that's as jacked as him to be as smart as him.
Mm.
But
And
it's
that's
like-
another perception. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When people are like, wow, you're an intellect, like, it's like, and I find that men were intimidated. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because either you're supposed to have the looks or you're supposed to have the brains.
You
not
never
both.
have
Oh,
the
no.
combination.
You
Correct.
open your mouth and they're like, oh, that's not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like, you need to
Yeah.
stop that immediately.
Yeah,
Silence.
please just shut up.
Enough. Cease.
But so do you find with like all of these things, is it a major plus with guys that you've done all this stuff, or is it usually a problem?
It's funny that you asked that. So at the outset, it's a major
Yeah.
plus to them.
Yeah.
This is my experience anyway. It's been a major plus. They really appreciate you for the hard work that you've put in, for everything that you've achieved, for your diversity.
Yeah.
And then when they start dating you, it's too much. They don't like your strength. They want you to be more dependent and reliant.
Yeah.
And they don't like you to be so opinionated. They want you to see more eye to eye with them.
I can relate.
And it's
wholeheartedly. Aside from Amy, every partner's had that problem.
But I'm just like, you like me, and now
Too
you
loud,
fucking
too
try and change
opinionated.
me.
Yeah.
So like when you date them, they try and change everything about you that they were initially attracted to because it's no longer attractive.
And because it's also intimidating though, because then there's a threat when you're external to them and they don't have you as a partner.
It's a
they're
shiny
like,
object.
oh, this is attractive. No, it's not even the shiny object. It's wow, this person embodies all of these amazing qualities. How cool. Then it's the threat of losing that and knowing that other people find the same thing attractive, and then it's the fear, it's scarcity mindset. They're like, fuck, you can't be that. I need you to be lower and more submissive or docile because that's a bit too much if other people are going to be seeing that and finding that attractive.
Well, it's like my ex-fiance, for instance, would be like, when he first met me, he was like, wow, you're a solicitor, and he was blown away by that.
Yeah.
And then, when I was in a relationship or engaged to him, like we'd have an argument and he'd be like, shut up, you think you know everything because you're a fucking lawyer. You're a fucking loser just because you're a lawyer. You think you're so much better than everyone else. And it's like everything about me.
I love that sentence, you're a fucking loser because you're a lawyer.
I know.
Wow.
Or you,
It's like the opposite,
I mean,
dog.
they could be a loser for many other reasons, truly.
but you can't argue with that. It's like, what do I do?
No, that's a good lawyer move. Don't argue with it because it's a fuckwit response.
Your Honor, I'm going to remain silent.
I'm
You're like,
going to try and walk away with
Hearsay?
dignity.
But how did you find it, like, after
Fiction.
these relationships and stuff have kind of ended? How do you balance all of the shit you do with dating?
I don't balance it.
Tenacity.
The only way that I was able to balance it is if I had a relationship that I was also in business with.
Yeah.
So it had to be like
Business and
adjacent to what you're
pleasure.
doing, but not directly involved.
Well, no, yes,
Except for the
directly
last one.
involved.
Yeah.
So
Interesting, because when you were a lawyer, you didn't want to do that.
no, I didn't
But
want to
then-
mix lawyering with so I didn't want to have a relationship with somebody that I was involved with. But when I was in my own business, the only way that I could actually juggle things, because I spent so much time at work, like if I came back from the factory at like 3 a.m, it wasn't uncommon. That was like 3 or 4 nights a week out of
and it's
5.
lonely and harder to find and meet people that way. So if they're in your space,
exactly.
it's
So
easier.
the
Yeah, I get it.
ideal situation for me was to actually be dating my life partner to be also my business partner. It was just unfortunate that my business partner was not the right person for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Excellent. Sorry, I was just deleting a question as we got up to it because it's kind of a repeat.
It's your turn, number 9.
No.
Yes.
That we did that one. That was 2 questions ago.
Was it?
Yep. We were up to the one I was up to.
Righto.
It was 11. So yeah, but see, this one's kind of lame too. Was you daring or most adventurous? Okay, no. Have you had any epic dates that are like standouts? So has anyone ever taken you like a swept off your feet kind of date?
You know what? I've never met somebody that amazing.
What?
Oh, that
To
sucks.
be determined. No. It's going to happen.
I'm on it.
Hang on. Hold the
Nicely
phone.
cute.
Excuse me while I just do this. No. I don't think I've ever been swept off my feet.
Okay.
Have I?
My standards are so low.
I don't know.
Damn.
Have I?
It needs to be in the microphone if you do say it.
I don't
I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I mean,
Into the microphone.
This microphone.
the
babe.
standards are awfully high. I mean,
have I ever been that
it's like
swept off my
Ferraris
feet?
and shit. But I mean, if that
Oh.
doesn't register, then maybe that's chill. I don't.
I forgot about that
Obviously,
one.
that wasn't.
No, that wasn't a date though. That was like a friend of mine catching up with me and wanting to meet me in person.
Oh yeah, that's how me and my friends catch up for sure.
In Ferrari. So give the audience
That
some
wasn't a date.
context.
I don't think
No,
that was
okay.
a date.
All right.
So
no,
what
that's
happened?
fair.
I don't
It's
think that was
friend.
a
It's a friend.
date.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, a guy just recently invited me to. Was it a date?
So if
feel like
the
that's happened
general
more than
definition, if you're ever confused, if a member of the sex that you're interested in
Yeah.
asks you to do something just the two of you, that can be classed as and is classed as a date.
Okay.
Can
so-
be or is. It's like
No.
It
They
is.
classify it as that. And I only learned that the
Yeah,
other day
yeah.
when someone
Really?
asked me to hang
Yeah.
out and had that same mindset. And I'm like, no, we're just friends. And then they later
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Told me it was
I
a date.
recently
I'm
went
like,
to the
no,
Grand
it's
Prix.
not.
That was,
That was
you
your
know,
date.
like the Grand Prix marquee was like a $2,500 ticket, and the guy's, you know, like
Yeah.
a really nice dude, super switched on, entrepreneur, super successful, and he's just a very nice, genuine person.
Yep.
You know, and he was just like, hey, just, you know, come with me. It's great. You know, you'll have a great time. And I did. I had a fucking awesome time. But like, I thought that it were just friends.
Yeah, I think
No.
we are friends too.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's definitely it's not friends, but I think to go to that extravagance and stuff, even if it scales up, like you know, people that earn millions and stuff, a 2K ticket is still like a bit
A good
to hang out with someone.
Not if they're very
I
wealthy.
thought
It's
there's
not.
been
Yeah.
other dates though that
But-
were like high level.
No.
But if that was a date, which it was, dude, that was pretty epic,
Well,
right?
that was pretty great. Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty great.
But not sweeping you off your feet.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like,
See, great date, terrible execution.
No, but you'd know as well though, because I feel like it doesn't even have to be like daring and adventurous date. I guess is a little bit different, but it's subjective, right? Even your best date could be something so simple. Adventurous for you might be going on a Ferris wheel if you've got a fear of heights. Like, you know, it's all subjective by
true.
measure.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'd say like the gala,
What's something
because it was
that's
the
more
opening
ballsy
gala
for you?
night, right? Was it the opening night of the GP?
That doesn't sound daring or
I think it was a
adventurous
Friday night.
necessarily
Was it
though.
the Friday
Yeah,
night?
that's the opening night.
Sounds fancy,
It's like it's
but
a
not
marquee thing.
daring
It's
or
like all
adventurous.
celebrities and stuff.
Have you like had a
That's pretty
knife
hectic.
pulled at your throat? Like, did you go to a horror? Sorry, I was thinking about those
I hope
horror
that never
things when you go
happens.
to like fates. You know, like the little carnival fates.
Horror house.
Thank you. That's the
Yeah,
word I was
yeah,
looking
yeah.
for. Not
No.
someone with a knife at your throat, but like
Yeah, I think you're taking it literally.
those kind of things
yeah.
as a date.
Yeah.
I've never had anything like that. Like, maybe I'm just a boring person. on
You're
dates.
not.
No.
I don't know.
We had.
This one's a dumb question.
Scrolling down.
Let's
Oh,
go to
well,
this
put it on the
one.
100%. Somebody needs to sweep me off my feet.
Yeah.
There's a song
You
called
deserve
"Sweep
it.
Me Off My Feet" by Pond, and I would recommend y'all all listen to it. It's great.
So I think literally it was just that last little bit that you sent me before. So in 2022, with things getting a bit shit and whatnot, do you think something like throwing yourself into dating, do you think that can kind of counterbalance? Is that something you're thinking about, you know, a bit more now that you've got kind of a little bit more time? And
You
because
know,
I know I did through COVID, it was like a super stressful time. Dating was like, it was the best escape and the easiest escape ever because you could just talk to someone else.
yeah.
They don't know anything about what's going on. Just all fresh.
Yeah, well, that's true. Look, my last relationship was so, and you know, the person that I was dating, unfortunately, was such a diabolical human.
Yeah.
That there was a lot for me to recover from,
Yeah.
and I felt that I can't go into something new with somebody else unless I'm the best version of myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I just thought, like, if I'm not the best version of me, I'm not going to attract the best, you know, qualities in other people. I don't want that shit. Like, so because now I know exactly what I want, I've only through learning exactly what I don't want.
I feel
That
like
puts
that's
you
the
in like
best
the
way to
top
learn that
1%
though.
of all people. 90, I'd say 9% of people. Oh, that lines up with 1%. Don't know what they want in a partner. They're just looking for something that's like, this is
Tangible.
nice, and then do they like me? And then that works.
I know, and you know what? And that's great for them. And you know,
No, it's
kudos
terrible.
to
Don't do
them.
that.
And but unfortunately, like that's the thing. Like when you're thrown so many curveballs and so many bad situations with
Yeah.
bad people.
You have to become selective.
Well, not just that, but you can't appreciate great qualities in a person unless you experience the worst.
That's very true, but also that can set you up for accepting the bare minimum because
Well,
I've
that's
been
what
on
I
that
used to
end.
do.
Yeah.
So now I no longer do that because
She's
I've
come
learned
full circle.
self-worth.
Well, it's good news for me for future me, so good to hear.
You know, like
I'm
It will
still in
be.
that like Delulu stage.
and you know, like
I know, me too.
It's so good.
It's like I'm in Delulu land. Woo! It's a great place to be, honestly. I love being in fantasy relationships.
Do you want to take 14? It's nice and quick and simple and one of the
I
old
was like,
favorites.
oh, what? Can you scroll down so I can actually read?
Ah, shit. Okay. Yes.
With love, of course.
There we go.
Sum up your dating or love life in 4 individual words.
God.
4 words.
I specified that.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
should have actually prepared this beforehand because
That's
I
okay.
cannot think.
Just
off the
think
cuff right
whatever
now.
comes off the top of your hip. So, like,
off your hip.
yeah, that's
Is
what
that a
comes straight from the hip.
quote?
Yeah, fire straight from the hip. It's the same. I muddled it.
From
'cause
Cowboys.
I was feeling, yeah,
I've never heard
to
that.
shoot from the
phrase.
hip. The gun comes from the hip.
Tumultuous.
I love the
Yeah,
word
you could be like
tumultuous.
toxic, tumultuous,
Oh, all
confused.
T words. I
Yeah,
challenge
that's
you.
true. That's true.
Turbulent.
My dating life in 4 words.
But whatever comes to your
Temerity.
mind. It can be non-existent.
But I also
That's
don't like
one
Too
word
method.
still.
So toxic, definitely.
Yeah.
Learning curve. Can we hyphenate that into
Yeah,
one?
we
You
can
can. You
hyphenate.
can take that as one.
Sweet.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Diabolical.
Ooh,
Oof.
yes, I'm liking
Yeah.
that.
And I'm gonna hyphenate the rest. Not good enough.
Ooh,
Okay. But that's
I
good. It's
like
like
these
it's that
set of
trend
words.
though.
Yeah.
Shit. And hopefully getting better.
I feel like toxic was the safest word in there.
That was the safest word. So do you have any green flags or red flags now that kind of stand out to you when you do start seeing someone?
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah, and look, you
question
know,
that we need to ask
I
every time.
probably should be a little bit more cognizant of the fact that I have actually
such a
dated
good
some
word.
nice dudes.
Yeah.
It was just a long time ago.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I've dated some really beautiful people, but it's probably, you know, it was before I even went to university.
Yep.
But green flags. Loves to spend time with their family, so family values.
Every fucking girl says that, and until I started this podcast, I had no idea. I had no
Really?
idea. Yeah.
Well, that's until you
So,
date
like,
the opposite.
Terrifying that
Until
that's what
you
you
date
guys
the
look at.
opposite, it doesn't mean anything,
Yeah.
right? But I dated the opposite, and I saw what that was
Yeah.
like, and I was
Awful.
like, ew.
Yeah, and you want to
Yeah.
see people that do
Horrible.
value their family because you want to see, like, if you want to have a family with said partner, you want
What
to
are
know
they
that that's
gonna
a
be
value.
like?
But what happens
Yeah.
to a person that's had like a really shit family?
Like mine.
Yeah. And then so the relationship's dented,
See, I value
but
family
you've
still, though.
but you've got
Yeah.
yourself out of that situation.
Well, I appreciate that, and a lot
Yeah,
of people
it'll
come
add
from that sort of
context, I guess,
background.
right?
But then, how does
Speak
that
about your
person
family.
then fit in with other families? How do they react towards them?
Yeah,
How
that's
do
fair.
they like?
That's fair.
How do they integrate in other
Exactly.
situations?
Like, and so like
Agreed.
the way that they treat them ultimately determines like.
Sorry
if
to
they have
anyone that's
family
listening with a
values.
broken family. I tried to help, bros.
No,
You're
you
fucked.
can have, no, but you
Lie
can have
and
broken
find a fake family.
Just pay them.
Just pay
It's
your
also
mates to
about how
be
you
your brothers.
talk about your family because you can have hardships, abuse history, all of those things,
Yeah.
and still reflect on it and go, I understand that they did the best that they thought they could. It was
Yeah.
shit. It wasn't okay.
100%.
But I still want to have a family. I want to do better than what I had, like kind of what you said. And that in itself is enough if you have a partner that does come from that. Because I think
100%.
a lot of people that we're going to date or have dated
Yep.
have similar histories of trauma to us. Like
Yeah.
we match people very similarly in that way.
Yeah.
And so when you're looking for a partner, I think there's a level of importance of going, if you have come from a broken family,
Mm-hmm.
How did you
what's
handle
your
it?
response and what's your attitude towards it? Do you look back with all of this, revenge and resentment, which is valid and okay, but you also want to be able to go through a place of that development and healing and going, it was fucked, but it doesn't have to make my life the only, like that's not
I
the
guess
only
you do see a
narrative
lot
I
of people
come
that
from.
like when they come from those
Yeah.
really value and like when they see
Value-driven.
really warm families and stuff like that's what I want
Oh,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Oh, but how do they treat your family? So, like,
Yeah,
the deciding factor for
absolutely.
me would be like, I mean, I come from a broken home as well,
Yeah.
right? Definitely not a perfect person.
Yeah.
But I have,
You hypocrite.
but I have family values. Like, and so
Yeah,
for
that's
me,
right.
I
Yeah.
would look at how my guy treats my mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you treat my mum the way that I want to be treated when I'm older, or the way that I
Oh,
want
yeah,
you to
yeah.
treat my mum, or the way that I treat my mum? And if not, you can fuck right off.
Yeah.
So that would be like,
That's
that
a
would
good
be
metric to go off.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
be a green flag.
Yeah.
Red flag. So a lot of the things that I've learned through therapy, especially recently, thank you to my ex-partner, my ex-fiance, great dude, narcissism. So my ex-partner is a covert narcissist.
Yeah.
And I've learned...
So is mine.
So was mine. Wow.
Apparently this sickness only
Solidarity.
affects 1% of the population, but
And
it is
yet
so
here we are
fucking
with the
common.
highest prevalence.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Close to sociopathy.
But high empathy also goes in that space where a lot of covert narcissists do look at that and they see vulnerability and they see high empathy and go, I can utilize this to my advantage. And
Yeah.
that's why it becomes the thing because we want to see the best. We want to go, I've seen your past, so you're better than that. You're not
Yeah.
a villain. I'm going to help make you feel like you are not the worst person. Your history doesn't matter. And then you're like fucked over and you're like,
Yeah.
trauma.
Yeah. So like, I mean, red flags for me would be like, you know, when people are like, oh, I'm sorry that somebody like fucks
I'm
up in
sorry
a
that
shit
you
way. And they're
felt
like,
that way
I'm
about
sorry
it.
you feel that way. You know, maybe you just took it the wrong way rather than saying like, I'm sorry I acted
I
like
fucked
a
up.
dick.
Yeah.
Or you know, somebody that says to me like outwardly says, oh, I can't feel empathy. I've never cried in my life and I've never told my mum I loved her. That was my ex-partner. And I was like, oh, that's a bit sad. Now I would be like, run for the hills. Where's the exit?
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, just things like that. I mean, it's, yeah.
Can we have one more green flag? Just because I feel like it'd be nice to see other than family values as well.
Yeah, so another green flag is respect.
Yeah.
I place that on like up here.
What does that look like though for respect for you?
Gosh. You know, like I hate the, you know, the YTB, the boys culture. You know, like if I'm calling your phone and you're in the middle of the guys and you're like, oh fuck, this bitch is calling, I'm
So
talking
locker
to her.
room talk and all of that basically.
Yeah, like if you're one of the
Stacey,
boys, like
she
you
hates
can
that
fuck off.
shit.
You're a little man, like you're not even
No, I
grown
hate
up.
that. Like if you've got a partner, you want
Right,
to celebrate them, get excited.
I know
about
you're
it.
16, prepubescent, but you need to add about 20 years before you can date me. Like, if you don't have the respect to pick up my phone call or to call back or to message back, and you're going to play like those games, you can fuck off.
Valid, yeah, fair enough.
I think at this point in life, it's
grown ass women.
Yeah, but a lot of dudes
I know
do that,
exactly
even
what
still.
I want. If you do that, that's yuck.
Yeah.
Bleh. And like also like, you know, I like to keep success and all that sort of stuff. I like to keep humble and I like to keep things kind of close to my chest.
But you
I
hella
won't
successful, you're babe.
Oh, thank you. But like, I don't want to project that. Like, I don't, because I don't like the way that people take that necessarily.
Yeah.
So like, you know, especially when you're dating, I'm not too sure if you guys find the same thing, but like guys will expect you to pay on the first date if you're successful.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually had a guy quite recently, well, not really that recently, maybe 6 months ago. He stood in front of a restaurant. He was like, are you going to open my door? Because he thought I was a feminist. And I'm like,
But also being a feminist doesn't necessarily mean you have to open the door. You can be a feminist and be a housewife and a business owner. Like,
and I was like,
fuck?
great, you're ignorant. That's fucking terrible.
And also, that's chivalry, the motherfucker. Like, seriously, anything.
But having seen some of the guys you go for though, I think maybe
I'm feeling this.
they might get confused by those concepts, and that might actually be like
maybe they just
That
you're
could be a
hitting the
valid
ceiling
point.
and being like, oh, these guys are dumb cunts. I can't date dumb cunts.
That could be a valid point. Maybe there needs to be more grey matter. Yeah, 100%.
But saying that though, what is your dating app of choice, and where are you finding these fuck sticks?
Very good question.
The majority of fuck sticks, I honestly think, exist on Bumble.
Yeah.
Really? I've never used it.
But does that make it your fault
you're the one
you
who has
start
to
talking
initiate,
to
yeah.
I've now deleted it.
I feel like you've just really outed yourself here as the problem.
Yeah.
Nah,
Well,
fuck Bumble.
We've got good reports from Hinge.
Yeah, I
do.
Hinge.
I do have Hinge, but if I'm honest, like nobody's really jumping out.
They don't
like,
match either with you as much.
Well, it's not that. Like, if I match or whatever, that's great. But like, I look at people's profiles, I'm like, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. But like these days, because I know exactly what I want and I've learned who I am and what I deserve and what I want going forward, it's either a fuck yes or it's a definite no. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
That's
everybody
good.
that I've met on Hinge thus far has been a maybe, which is just automatically
It's
a
not
fuck
enough,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think like the excess of choice on the dating apps makes it harder to find the standout?
No.
Because there's
It
so
would make it
many?
easier if
Do
anything.
you reckon?
You're
Yeah.
really like, you've got it down to a finite.
So you dialed in. You
No,
dialed
it's
into
just
it.
like, you know, okay, for instance, it's really simple. Like, I've got some, you know, good content that's worthy of, you know, a comment.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Oh, you like
liking.
my profile claps, cunt. Why have you said nothing?
So my profile, like, I've got
Yeah.
stuff about, you know, piloting. I've got stuff
Yeah.
about, you know, stuff about law.
You've got enough cues and prompts for people to make it interesting to engage.
I
Is it
look
a
like
very
a
serious-
non-superficial fuck.
Is it a very serious profile?
No, well, no, but it's something that's, it's self-assured, and I say what I
I would
want.
have loved to have seen your dating profiles.
Did you have one?
Yeah, she was on Bumble.
Why didn't you share it with
Did you ever have
me?
screenshots with your girlfriends? Can always bring back-
Why didn't
Yeah.
you share it with me? I would have
profile
totes
pic,
stolen your
actually.
content.
Yeah.
I think mine says vegan in the caption. It really, really didn't help.
No, you should definitely take that down. Like, people just see it. Actually, no, leave it up. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Okay, but so for this one, I'm going to need you to speak directly into that microphone. Are you ready? How would your friends describe your ideal partner?
Testing. Right. I'm so unprepared for this.
Can I sink?
read it out.
I'm just sinking.
Right.
Will I
How
disappear
perfect
into
that I'm
the...
here for this, just like I was randomly when Shay was here. It's
That's
like
better.
it's meant to be. So is that okay?
Yeah.
How long have you known me, Ames?
2011.
Oh.
No,
Whoa.
12.
Yes, it's been a long time.
It's
Okay.
a long time.
11
It was
years.
12 because that was the
Who's my ideal partner? Go.
I don't know who specifically, but I can name the qualities.
Describe him.
Qualities and characteristics.
He needs to have an I motherfucking Q.
I
He needs to
motherfucking-
have intelligent, like IQ,
Oh,
like not
IQ.
just
I
like
thought you were like saying I.
like a vocabulary.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like somebody who's
Articulate?
quite clever.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you just won't respect him. I reckon
You
you've
need
gotta
someone
get-
to match your brain.
he's got to be able to go to like head to head banter, like toe to toe.
But her
On
banter,
some
as
shit.
someone that talks quite a lot of shit, it's intimidating because sometimes it comes across really serious.
I'm a shit talker.
And
No,
to-
that's brilliant.
No, it's good. But then to funny people, you're like, I think she
I'm
just
not-
doesn't like me.
It's because you
Nah.
say it with a deadpan
It's
face.
yeah, man.
Do I?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah,
dry.
yeah.
Self-assess.
No,
That's
it
dry.
works well. Dry humor is most
Yeah,
effective
that's
when
a-
you are being
maybe.
stoic.
Maybe I
Twist
should self-assess more. I
No,
don't
she'll
know.
come over. Yeah.
Okay, the bar's pretty high, so he needs to be at the gym at least 5 days a week, and he has to know what the fuck he's doing there. He's got to be able to.
That's so true.
Imagine like looking
Yeah.
at the
I didn't know. She said it's weird that you guys would care. Well, I guess.
No, I
was your-
care
your
because
view.
like
he goes
yeah,
there, and
yeah.
I'm like, bro, what are you? You're gonna hurt
But-
yourself. Stop.
But so what would you consider a guy that goes there and doesn't know what they're doing?
someone
But
that's
I don't want
watching
to be their
videos
mum and
before.
be like, you're doing that wrong. You're gonna fucking pull
Yeah.
your neck out, and in 5 years you're not gonna have a spine. Like,
Yeah. So is that and is that what you thought? Because she said that as soon as you went there, she's like, you know what you're doing. I'm like, what do you mean?
No, they have to.
Yeah,
well,
it's awful.
it's
You're
like,
just like,
do you
wow.
want a guy to be able to take the lead and to challenge you in every facet?
Okay.
And if you can't, like, bench press 10 kilos, like,
Yeah.
I don't even bench press 10 kilos, but if he can't do it, come on, man. Like,
Okay.
So yeah, he's
Alright.
got to be smart,
Jacked.
Not
Yeah,
jacked.
in
Just
shape.
knows what
Nah,
he's
jacked.
doing
like
and-
intelligent
Jack.
training, not just like
functional training.
dickhead
Yeah.
training.
Yeah.
He's got to have drive. Like he's got to
Passion.
be driven in his career and want more and be striving.
Mm.
mediocrity is my biggest fear.
Yeah, she doesn't like that.
I
Oof.
understand.
It's got to be. I think he's got to be growth mindset.
Mm.
He's got to be entrepreneurial thinker.
That's the thing. So
Ideas.
would you be opposed to a dude that's like not necessarily fucking driving Ferraris and taking you to places, but trying and maybe failed a few times, but still trying?
100%.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's about the
Curiosity.
drive.
It's
Yeah.
curiosity,
Drive.
it's determination, it's tenacity, it's
Yeah.
all of
I have
those
to do this for
things
the
that make
listener
a
base
person.
because there's heaps of dudes that try and just fuck up and they're like, well, fuck, man.
No, no,
I
it's
don't
about
have
the
10
attempt to
Ferraris.
motivate
Every
you.
billionaire,
Yeah.
every
That's it,
entrepreneur
yeah.
fails. It's all
That's
about
the-
getting up.
Because
100%.
technically Andrew Tate ticks all of those boxes.
No, he does not.
He does.
Depends
He's
who you
super
are.
smart.
Red flag.
No
Narcissist.
respect.
Yeah.
No respect.
Red flag. Yeah, no
There you go.
respect. He does not meet the criteria.
Yeah,
Afraid
Yeah.
to
yeah,
take
that's
you
true.
out.
That's
Yeah.
true. All right, so we've got
So, yeah.
jacked, smart,
Yeah.
driven.
Family values.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what the friend thinks, though.
Oh, yeah, sorry, son.
Yeah.
Shut up, son.
Stop coaching her, Sash.
Yeah. It was like a bit of resilience.
A
yeah,
little bit
true.
of grit
Do we-
and maybe some history.
Do we go into what he looks like, or are we not that specific?
Do you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
us to
Is
go
there an
into the
archetype?
looks?
Is there an archetype?
Granular.
Go. Amy knows me so well.
Just like
Ask.
someone who could be in a cape in a Marvel movie. Like,
Oh.
And that lines with the
I think
Hemsworth
like
thing
the
too.
geeky
yeah, like
humans.
if you could put a cape on
Oh,
him
wait,
and like
no.
spray paint some like costume on his abs, then she'd be like, sweet.
Going back to the Thor thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically
100%.
Hemi, but like with a haircut.
Maybe the brunette version of Hemi.
Yeah. I don't know how articulate he is, babe. When I
Oh,
look at him,
really?
I'm like, I think he'd be like, duh.
Well, he's an
I feel like
actor,
he's actually
so he has to be able to
Is he?
read.
I'm pretty sure he denies being a vegan, and so he can just fuck right.
I know
off.
No,
he
that's
eats
the
my-
younger brother.
Get some fuck.
I know
That's
he
the younger
eats
brother.
my bars.
Ames.
I know he eats my bars.
That's the little younger brother.
Really?
Yeah, the skinniest one. He was in one movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're all smart.
Well, I think most actors have to be pretty switched on.
Surely,
Especially to
to
make
memorize
pretend.
lines,
Most
you
women can
need
also take
brain
substances
matter.
to be switched on.
Yes, that's true too. Okay, so do you want to take
go.
number 18?
Yeah.
Oh, does
You
that
did a
track?
good
Do you
job.
agree?
Yeah, she did a
Yeah.
great job.
Yes.
Yeah, she knows me very well. Yeah.
I win.
And Amy's bar is so high.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, hey, Amy, I'm like, talk to this person. She's like, babe, no, not good enough. And I'm like, good, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Sometimes you're like, yeah, he's a 10 and he's got a company and he's this and he's that and he's just absolutely lovely. But I'm like, okay. Like it's not a fuck yeah, so it's a no.
I need to take some
Yeah,
pages
well,
from your
that's
book.
it.
David.
And actually, here's one I'd like to hear the answer to. What advice do you often end up giving your friends the most? So would you fucking
About
tell this
dating?
one? Yes.
Do better. Not with you,
No.
obviously.
Hang on.
Sorry, I just want to say when she was single.
On my
podcast.
podcast.
That's not what I'm saying.
What was
Yeah.
my
It was
advice
just
to
This is
poorly
my
cute.
space.
I love you.
I invariably I say to people, he's not enough for you.
Yeah.
He's not good enough. He's not enough, and he's not the right person for you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
None of my friends like
Yeah.
That's because he was a
No.
piece of shit.
Mm.
so you'll quite often call out the kind of
Toxic.
obvious
douche.
things that a lot of people look over. Because I think when you enter those relationships, sometimes you'll gloss over it. Like you'll know because deep down you know that it's like not kind of one of those long-lasting relationships. But sometimes you make those backwards rationalizations.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, they're this and that and this and the other, so it'll be fine. And a lot of people's friends aren't courageous enough to say that because no one wants to get
They wanna-
involved like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like with Ames, I hope you don't mind me speaking
Not at all.
openly, but like so with Ames and her,
Yep.
previous partner, who I luckily only met once, I think so.
Mm.
Like the one thing a couple of things that I noticed, like Amy would be speaking and he would be talking over her. Amy would be praising him. He would be putting her down. And I'm like,
Piece of
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
this is like, he's a tenth of what you are. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And like, if Amy had gone to the bathroom, I would have literally held a knife to him, been like, this is your cue.
And
Get the fuck out and never return.
I
And you
love
can pay
that.
for the meal and you can just fuck right off.
the
That's very generous to
I
leave
can't-
him
that
with a
makes
meal.
me nervous that you're talking about it and looking
but
at
like,
me at the
Just
same time.
deadpan. Yeah.
And
no,
and actually,
be good.
like that's how I got rid of my sister's ex-partner.
With a knife?
I'm not gonna say with a knife. No, but like we were in
Just
our
my
kitchen,
eyes.
and I was like, "It's time for you to leave. Get the fuck out, and you never come back." And he was like, "Okay."
Cool. I like that though.
Like it's just like
That's
some people can't stand up or don't stand up for themselves because they don't see their own value, and
Yeah.
that's the time when you
Especially
just
That's
in
a big.
toxic
That's a very, very
relationships
big
like
thing
that.
with dating.
Yeah,
Is that a lot of
yeah.
people can't see their own value,
yes,
and you end up in really awkward, shitty relationships.
Yeah.
I think that's a cause for a lot of those
yeah.
that end up that way.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
I
would be
think
correct.
people,
Yeah.
everybody is. We are all broken somehow, whether it's through like childhood trauma or like young adult trauma,
Even
or
relationships.
trauma from like our first relationships that we haven't yet gotten over.
Yeah.
Or you cheated on me and I haven't yet recovered. But we take everything with us to the next place or to
Yeah.
the next person, and then we project. I think if we become the best versions of ourselves, if we get like therapy. I know
Yeah.
therapy is so taboo. People don't want to.
It's getting better now.
Like there's
getting
a
much
stigma
better.
attached to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting better now. But like still, there's a stigma attached to
Massive
it.
one.
Yep.
And if I talk about therapy, people are like,
Yeah, I love talking about it.
Yeah.
but that's your profession.
Normalize
It is my profession, but
Yeah,
I've also
it
been
must
in
buy-
therapy since
yeah.
I was 5. So
Right, but
to be
like-
fair, I've been speaking about therapy since well before I was qualified.
Right. And like, but the thing is, like I feel, especially on
You get the
dating
eye rolls
apps,
or like the awkward, like,
Well,
oh wow.
well,
you
yeah,
have
on
such
dating
a-
apps, you can't actually say those things because
No.
you don't want people to look badly upon you
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
judge you,
Mm,
and so
true.
you kind of keep it, to yourself. But
Mm.
I don't know. Like, I feel like if we all go through therapy, deal with our own shit, see our own value, see who
fucking
we are
necessary.
and what
Do
we
your
want, what we
healing.
deserve, then we can go on to the next stage, and then we can find the incredible person that is, worthy of us.
Hurt people, and the only way to heal that is through healing, and not necessarily just talk
100%.
therapy, but like even communities or groups or being able to connect with people and understand your trauma and understand and reflect.
Mm.
But obviously, therapy is a more accessible and a very objective state of being able to do that.
Mm.
There is so much value in it, and I agree. I think that every fucking person needs therapy, even if they don't have. Even if there was an untraumatized individual,
Yeah.
they would still need it because they're in a world with traumatized people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Where you're
helps
still
you
going to be
flesh
interacting and
out some
reflecting
basic
and
stuff.
accepting and absorbing all of that kind of stuff.
Mm.
And like you said, people project their stuff regardless of whether or not you'd like to. People carry their baggage, and then they carry your baggage. And if you have competing baggage, like avoidance and attachment and anxious attachments, you're going to be having competing needs the entire time. And unless you know how to communicate effectively about your needs, it's going to be chaos. That's where toxicity breeds.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, and the thing is, a lot of people don't actually understand themselves,
No,
if you
and they don't
Yeah,
want
that's
to
right.
meet themselves there because it's too
Exactly.
scary. It's confronting.
And if you don't understand yourself, how are you going to understand somebody else? If you don't respect yourself, if you don't know yourself, how are you going to know somebody else? You're not.
So
it's
on
like-
that, have you noticed any terrible trends in dating today then?
I feel that yes. So there's a lot of disingenuous. Like,
You wouldn't get
so
ghosted that
ghosting.
much, would you?
A lot of people accuse me of being a catfish.
What do you mean?
I know. I had to Google it.
Yeah.
Like on Hinge.
There's a new one called zombieing people, and I've got to find out what
What's
it is.
that?
But it's
Is it when you have like dead eyes? 'Cause I thought those-
no. So you explain why people catfish, and I'll find you what zombieing
So
is.
this guy that I dated, like when I first got I think it was Hinge. His name was Adam, really nice guy, and he was like, "I'm sorry, but I don't believe you are who you are. Can you please put a sign on your head? And you need to be watching Channel 9 News." It was like that time that we were talking at night time. And he's like, "And can you like do some signal with your hand?"
Oh
so I know
yeah,
it's
to
you?"
confirm it because you're a very beautiful person, so obviously wanted to make sure it was legit. But that's fucking stupid.
I thought you meant that you got to a date.
Yeah, I
and
thought
they're like
you're a catfish. I did think
No,
that too.
I was
What?
accused of being a catfish. Like he thought I was some 80-year-old dude behind a computer.
That's pretty funny.
And I'm like, I
Yeah.
swear, I live
Actually,
4 minutes
you,
away from
you
an
without
Aspendale.
that, like that's an old man.
It's like,
Like, no, I was
what-
covering your
oh.
face. I can high five
Oh,
you if you like. I don't leave you hanging. Okay, and zombieing, right, is to have someone you care about disappear from your life altogether, only to have them bring a relationship back from the dead, and with an out of the blue text or interaction on social media. Okay.
Right.
Quite a few of those zombies.
I just feel like that person might need therapy.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh my god, I actually had that happen.
Zombieing.
So weird.
The zombieing
So
or
long ago.
We don't want
Yeah.
the zombies, they can fuck
Yeah.
off.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
is it?
That's awfully specific.
I still don't understand it, but apparently it's a new trend. I actually read about it today.
And people aspire to be this? Is this a thing? We want this?
No.
No,
yeah,
we
so I
don't
guess
want
just
this.
to people that missed it, because I still don't fully get it.
Hang on,
So
can you reread
is
it?
to,
Sorry,
is
I'm
to have
slow.
someone you care about disappear from your life altogether, only to have them bring a relationship back from the dead with an out of the blue text or
Oh,
interaction
no.
on social media.
Okay, so they kind of vanish, and then out of nowhere they're like, "Hey."
Yeah, no
Yeah.
thanks. You can.
So I guess
You're
zombieing
dead.
would be like you can call that like it's like when you're kind of talking to someone
Yeah.
and then you start seeing someone else and then that
Mm.
goes tits up and then you come back round.
Yeah.
Done
That's
that a
just
few
dating
times.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that's it, and it is. I did notice it was on a girl blog, and then like it seems to be like a thing where people are picking up that the guys are coming back to them, but like all dudes know, like, oh, she must be single now.
Yeah, I mean, we
Like-
post photos that do that.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
there's
I do.
literally like you can
Like, you can tell I'm single when nudes come up. Or not nudes, lewds. But
lose.
Hey,
I
what?
promise I'm a
That's-
professional psychologist. So
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
upload
Yeah, with
these
a
things.
rig.
That's
Fucking, you can be both.
that's
No,
but that's
they're
the
lewds
thing.
because Instagram has
Is I think you
community
guys
guidelines.
advertise more, or probably are aware how to advertise better on social
Really?
media.
Oh, I make
more
a definite
Advertise?
than guys. Yes, because I
No.
responded to the stuff. Yeah.
Really?
You
yeah.
post more stories or be more interactive
Fucking
naturally
oath.
as a person because like I do that.
Yeah.
I will post more stories, or if I'm having issues with
Think
someone,
about how
I'll
often you were
post
posting
more
then to
nudes.
now.
I don't know if I do
yeah.
that.
Captions will have like shorter, cuter things,
Yeah.
even though they're actually not relevant compared to like more
Do I
lengthy
do
captions.
that?
I don't know. I don't follow you. Not a critique. No, I don't.
So fucking harsh.
It's not okay. I've been told that I've had no tact by like 3 people in the last
No,
few days.
I didn't say
I'm
that.
just.
I
well,
like that about you.
Don't ever
That's
speak
fine.
to me again.
Fuck off, cunt. Get the fuck off. This is my podcast as well.
No, I
bitch.
said I
Get
like
off.
that about her. It's fine.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's definitely I think.
I've only met you once. That's why I don't follow you.
Yeah. So just
No,
for
look. I
everyone
think with the
listening.
zombieing stuff, I think that's just it's almost
Standard
natural.
life. Yeah, it's normal.
Like it's just I think that's more a term for people that
Ebbs
get
and flows,
upset
just like- yeah.
that there was someone that they were interested in and they've made the realization that something else has failed and they're a fallback option, which is fine. I'm the same. Always be the first. I think it be in their starting 11. It's a soccer reference. Never on the bench.
Don't
So,
understand it.
I don't get it.
It's basically like I'm either your first call or
Not at all.
Not at all, bitch.
100%. I'm either your
Yeah.
first option or you can fuck
Yeah.
off. I'm no
So
option.
it's like, don't get pissed off about it. That's just how I roll.
Yeah, no.
And that's just the way it is. We don't need to make a
100%.
word. I like that there's a word about it because I can talk about it on my podcast.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I think it's just what happens, man. Like,
I feel like, that's the kind of like gym dude mentality or like the YTB, the boys mentality is like, guys will like treat you like an option. Like they'll be like, oh, I'm going to go out with the boys tonight, but maybe we could go out tomorrow night or whatever. And then they'll they'll
Look,
roast you the night after. Then
that's
you're
a
like,
younger guy thing.
No, it's not. Dudes in their 30s. do it.
30s. Yeah, late 30s. I'm talking like
Jesus
my
Christ.
age. And like for me, that is so like
basic.
No,
I'm super
basic.
lucky. A lot of my mates,
Yeah.
a thing as we
Can
got
confirm.
older
Your mates
Repulsive.
don't
was like,
change.
because there was literally like, your key date nights are like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? That's because like everyone's kind of winding down on the week. And they're inherently nice. You'd go out with your friends. You'd be like, no, I'm sorry, guys. I can't do because I've got some dates lined up and stuff. it would never be like, oh, what are you fucking doing? And that's usually what happens is you get your balls busted. So you're like, fine, I'll keep this day open when you're younger, right?
Right.
So you would avoid doing that.
Right.
But it's like it's just a nicer nights to go out. You know what I mean?
You know what?
I love Friday night dates. They're the best because it's like you got nothing to do the day after. Like it's super relaxed. It's the most relaxed usually you'll be if you work 9 to 5. You know, it's a good vibe for both people.
I
It's just
have a
comfortable.
hypothetical against that though.
Yes.
I have
You're like, I know some of your friends and
and I have also seen some of them, and I know they're no. What I was gonna get at is like, sorry, I just can't not tonight. I think I'm a little bit tipsy, but
it's good.
wait, let me retrace thought. Brain, hello, come
Yeah.
back.
Dating on the weekends?
Yeah, no. So it's about the majority. If most of your friends are in relationships, they won't play that. If you've got majority of mates that are single, they will do that commentary because I've noticed it in our guy group and not in a shameful way. If 1 to 3 of them are single, they'll egg on for that. It's like, oh, why would you? No, don't spend any time with us. Yeah. And that's standard culture. So I think it's about majority of what it is because guys will understand
very
and
good
respect
observation. Yeah.
the fact that you're in a relationship.
Okay.
If majority of them are in
Would that
one.
flag for you guys if the dudes have a lot of single friends? Is that a thing you'd worry about?
No. It's how they treat me.
Yeah. But
Like-
so inherently, maybe not a good thing.
Like,
If they're all single.
well, look, you know what? Everybody, 40-50% of relationships fail. What is it?
Yeah.
And it's
My
60
God.
at some point too.
cyclical, right? Like at some point, your mate is going to have, or like your guy mate's going to have a bunch of single friends. That's where your girl mate.
Yeah,
like,
normal, standard.
it's completely fine, like, and expected. But like, how does that person treat you, like, relative to their friends?
But also, how is the influence level too? Are they easily swayed by dopamine
Dudes are
or
so upset about what their mates say.
Like,
it's really a thing.
What do you
and
mean? Girls are the same.
No, not to that same
well,
degree.
not that I know.
Dudes have this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the level of toxic masculinity and having to put up this like charade, and it's really hard. And I don't know why there's the level of pressure that there is, but it's almost like performative of. I need to make sure the boys know I'm still one of them. I'm still with them, even though I am like in love and doing all of these beautiful things with this person or people. And then the minute that's, like I said, majority of men who are in the relationships, they can all respect it. And that's where they have those beautiful chats about their girlfriends, and it's more safe to then be vulnerable with their guy mates. If most of them are single and then starting to just, go out and fuck women, which is not an issue at all. But if that's the majority, then I notice that the language, the behavior, all of that is easily swayed. Because it's like, oh, but I'm single. Like, I want to go out. I want to do this. And it's almost like an obligation. And with chicks, I find it's different. And this is not, this is only anecdotal and to generalize what I've observed, but in at least my female friendships, if there are chicks in relationships, they can go out, have a good time, and I won't see them flirting with dudes. I won't see them doing that. I see a lot of my guy mates that have been in partnerships that still indulge in that. And I'm like, I don't get it.
Well, they just need to feel validated.
And I get that as well. And I know in partnerships, like it's nice for ego and stuff. Totally get it. But I think the behaviors are actually quite different. From what I've seen.
No, they would be. Well, definitely. Like,
and it makes
the
sense,
two genders have two different roles. For sure.
And
I agree,
mentality as well, though. So, like I said, if most of your dudes, like let's say all of your guy mates, if about 3/4 of them are in relationships or married, and you all go out for a nice night out, you're less likely to go out and like let's say to the strippers or do these things, as opposed to if you're with your single mates where it's more likely to be encouraged even though you're in a relationship. So I think the behavior is different, which makes sense because obviously the majority are going to do things like single people do, but it's easier to sway behavior as a result of that, or at least how I've seen it. And chicks do the same.
Impact mentality.
Yeah, it is. And you guys are all like, what is it? Not wolves. What are the ones that, wolves carry impacts. Like wolf packs.
Yeah.
Essentially, you follow the alpha or the leader.
Ironically enough,
are
I
they
think
single or are they in a relationship? And then you follow that.
Straight up, I'm really turned off by pack mentality. If you can't stand away from your friends and think for yourself,
there's no
you're not the person for me. You need to walk away.
I'm noticing now with the big switch that you're seeing more girl groups that are that way inclined.
I've definitely seen that as such as well.
It's
so
been
we agree.
growing like significantly now. It's almost like we can do that now. So it's not even that there's any ownership in the fact that they're doing it. It's just because it's something that they can do. And it's and seeing it from a guy's perspective, it is kind of a massive turn off. You're like, nah, it's a bit on the nose, just because it's woo girl actually from How I Met Your Mother. So they go out and it's all like why are you wooing? Like what attention do you need? Like what are you trying to get? What is your? Ironically though, sometimes it comes from girls that are in like large groups of long-term relationships and it's like there's something missing.
Well, yeah,
from
that makes
their
sense as well
relationship.
because you're
So
trying
they're-
to seek connection and you know that all
Yeah,
of your
man.
girlmates have people.
Oh yeah.
So I get that.
The amount of
I understand
times,
that.
like when I was younger, we used to go to like down to Ryan Portsea and stuff, and you'd bump into like women that are like significantly older and they're married and stuff. And like, ironically enough, a lot of them are like hanging out with footy players, like AFL footy
That's
players.
so interesting.
But you can see they're like looking for attention because it's like the main partner.
Looking
and
for
they realize
connection. I'm gonna
that
correct you
dude's a
on that.
piece of shit. Yeah. And it's about like, oh, just having a nice conversation. Maybe like, dude, you're just old as fuck and we're just talking. Calm down. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a swing that's coming kind of back around. Maybe because I'm older,
No,
I don't
I've
see
seen a little bit of it
the
too.
dudes doing that anymore.
Oh, they definitely still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And I don't even leave the house that often.
you
And they still do it.
And they're still fucking doing it. Even in my house, they're doing it. It's really concerning.
I think, look,
why are there so
I
many
think
men there?
it's kind
How
of
did you get in here?
Yeah, why are you here? How
it's
did
not
you get my
humbling,
key?
but it's nice to see that it is kind of the same thing
Evening out in
happens
that
on
way.
both genders.
It definitely
It's more
does.
emotional than what it is gender based.
I'd say more level of security base.
Yeah.
Which is
for
still
sure.
emotional. So
I was going
that's
to
me
say at
being
some
really
point
fucking
that would be, that
yeah,
would
it's
be
me being the
emotional.
semantic pragmatic
Yeah.
human, sorry.
That's all right.
Words.
But I guess look, we've definitely knocked this one out of the park. So
I've
you were
actually
worried.
really enjoyed talking tonight.
Yeah,
You've
but
had not me, so me just talking and me listening to what I have to say. I mean, like, this is a very engaging pod, and you've
Yeah.
had a lot of really awesome things to say, which
Yeah,
I've really
babe.
absorbed and taken
Pod
in.
number one.
Thank you.
see,
And no, but you've also said some fucking kick-ass shit that I want to take into consideration
Yes,
for my own
yeah,
life.
yes.
Shut the fuck up. I don't. I already know that I need to absorb that shit.
but do you have any closing words or wisdom, words of advice for anyone that's listening at home that might resonate with what the fuck's going on in Sash's life and like this bitch knows?
If they're having a hard time dating,
Yeah,
Oh.
It's me.
or just in
It's me,
general.
guys.
Say they're newly single.
Direct it
Or,
this way.
okay, here's one for you. Say there's, because we skew 50-50, but say there's a guy listening and he's like, well, Sash seems pretty chill, pretty cool. I'm not jacked. I don't go to the gym. And a lot of them are nerds, so I'm pretty smart, but I don't go out and I don't have any mates. What would you say to those guys?
Sheesh.
If they
show me
wanted
who you
to.
are.
There you
Show
go.
me, you just
So-
told me what you
You're
don't
so
have. But
scary.
show me who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Show me what you do.
So-
Show me now. what are you afraid
Like,
of?
well,
Why are you
that's
so
what I would say.
intimidated?
So I guess to kind of
Not even an eye.
to flesh that out for them, it's like show people who you are, not what you aren't, right?
Exactly. If you
What are you made of?
if you want to show me that, like, and I don't mean to sound like I've got tickets on myself because I don't, right? But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, if you want to show somebody that you're worthy of their time or that you want to be
Don't
with
speak to
them,
what you're lacking.
who the fuck are you? You need
Yeah.
to show me who you are.
Yeah.
Like, why do I want to spend time with you? Why do I want to invest in you? Like, I'm
What makes you
37
worth
years old. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not like 20.
Wait,
Yeah.
how old
I
are
don't
you?
have 37.
Oh, I thought you said 27. I'm like,
No.
I feel like we're backwards
27.
age.
My dating,
Okay,
my
Benjamin
dating goals
Button.
will be different, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
but I don't have time to waste, and I don't want to waste time on you if I don't think that you're worth the time.
Yeah.
So show me who you are, and then we'll see what happens. But
Beautiful.
otherwise, don't waste my time.
Love it.
And
Great
in terms
piece of
of, like,
wisdom.
That's a really good thing to end on. Don't waste my time. Fuck
but like
off.
in terms of like just a
It's a
closing
sound grab.
statement in general, like
Yeah.
one thing that I really learned throughout 2022 and also this year as well was know who you are, what you're worth, and don't give a fuck about people's opinions of you because they are irrelevant.
Like a relevant place.
Platitudes.
Nicely
Yeah.
done.
I'm waiting, the car's cold.
Get the fuck out of here! What fucking warming up? Get out of here!
You heard the man. Get out of here. Thanks for listening to Irrelevant Platitudes.
Nucci,
Cameras all
camera,
around.
photos. You got a phone?
It's there. Let this finish first. And then
Oh, we're still recording?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
it's fine. It's cute at the end of the podcast.
Can
when
I
you
just
talk.
like go bury my head in somewhere?
Not
That's all right. Yeah, but obviously, because that was the perfect time to cue the intro. Obviously,
did.
don't
That was
forget to follow us on
amazing.
all social medias. It's Plat
And now I
Pod.
want your social media because it feels shit.
Yeah. Well, do you want people on your social media or no? You're fine.
No.
Sorry, say that again.
Do you want people to follow you on social medias, or you'd be right?
I'm not very popular on social
Yeah.
media. You
Show
can if you
your
want.
worth
You can if
in
you
the
want.
DMs.
And where would they find you?
Shoot your shot.
Anastasia
25 words
Dominican.
or less.
Most of my
Gotta be less
content
than
is of my
12
dog
words.
because he's number one. You'll
not
always be
toxic
number
to
two.
Maltese.
Theo's dope, but yes.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next
Bye.
week.
All right, Nucci.